Hey, hey, quasi-farmers. It's the farm. We, me and Bear, are taking a quick break from cleanup again to do another review. This time we're going to review DeWalt's 16-inch chainsaw. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons, and a little bit of advice to get maximum utilization out of this tool. So here's what we got. So first off, you've got your Flex Volt battery. It is the 20 volt max, 60 volt max. It's interchangeable with the tools, but you cannot use a 20 volt battery in the 60 volt chainsaw. It is auto lubing, so you've got your bar and chain oil that automatically disperses, as most tend to. You've got standard safety features, so flip this out. You cannot activate the actual chain itself. If you flip this back in, then you can click the buttons and activate the chain. So pros to electric, you can start and stop as you want, go on a whim. I really like that. The con though, if you were to chain in rapid succession, like let's say, although I've got my little pre-measured cut areas going up this tree where we're still cleaning up from Hurricane Helene, if I were to try to do that in rapid succession, the battery would end up overheating and locking up prior to it even utilizing all the energy out of the battery. So, just like the chainsaw needs a break, people need a break too. So what I do, and this is the tip, woohoo! I go ahead and take my splitting maul, and as I'm busting up a couple of blocks, every so often, giving the chainsaw a rest, if I start sweating really bad or I get tired myself, I'll take my break. So I'll put them all back down, jump back on the chainsaw, which has had time to cool off, and it's maybe 60 degrees outside. So the air is plenty good to cool the battery over time pretty rapidly. Jump back to the chainsaw and then continue to run down the length of the tree. And after I've hit up, let's say 3 or 4 logs, give the chainsaw a break. I'll jump back over on the maul. Or perhaps Bear will herself. But this way, and the chickens have followed me out into the woods. They don't leave me alone. I'm constantly harassed. Anywhere I try to go, they go too. But that's okay. So as you're taking your break, jump back on the chainsaw, knock down a couple of segments of the tree, and then to prevent overheating, set the chainsaw down a hot minute, jump back over to your maul, split a couple more logs. This way you can get a lot done. It's very efficient. I know people have a lot of gripes about electric and they say it has all these problems and you can't run it but so long and yada yada. I get it. But at the same time, how much wood do you actually need to cut? Now, in this situation right here, we actually need to cut a substantial amount. There's still tremendous amounts of trees down all over. It's pretty terrible, actually. Doing the best we can to go as fast as we can and get everything cleaned up. It's just going to be a very time-consuming project over probably the next 6 to 12 months, but that's okay. But anyways, give your chainsaw a rest. Sure, we could use a gas-powered one, but honestly, I really like the flexibility of electric. I like how smooth it is. I really like being able to start and stop on a whim. I'm not having to deal with jerking on a cord trying to get the chainsaw to start up. It's just smooth. It's very convenient. A perk to the 16-inch over the 20-inch, and I'm talking about DeWalt. Talking about DeWalt. The 16-inch doesn't pull as much power as the 20-inch, which, I guess on one hand that's a given. But the 20-inch is pretty bad about overheating the battery, even if you just chain like 3 or 4 blocks or 3 or 4 log segments. The 16-inch doesn't. Now, it still does get overheated if you were to continue to go bam, but just don't do that. Knock out a couple of segments, let the chainsaw have a break, jump over to the maul. Once you've got your wood split, stacked, staged, whatever you got going on, then you take your break. And by your break, I mean you jump back over to the chainsaw because you only get half a break. Bum. But it's very convenient, very efficient. I love DeWalt. I love all of their tools. Everything has been absolutely fantastic that I've utilized from them. And the 16-inch chainsaw, I would say, is a must. I would recommend it more so over the 20-inch or the 18-inch. Obviously, everybody's got to live their own life, and I encourage you to do so. But the 16-inch chainsaw seems to be the perfect sweet spot. You've got more power than a 20-volt tool that caps out at your 12-inch chainsaw. You've got more ability with a 16-inch over a 12-inch, but it's not overly taxing on the actual power supply itself. So this is a great tool, lots of functionality, lots of flexibility to clean up your area, your own farm, your own homestead, whatever you got going on. But highly recommend DeWalt's 16-inch chainsaw. And as always, this is not a paid promotion. I'm not getting any kind of kickbacks from DeWalt or anything like that. This is just my opinion. This is a tool that I utilize here on the farm, on our own homestead, and we just do the best that we can. But if everyone would, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We really, really appreciate you, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. That's it from the farm. And myself and Little Miss Bear really, really appreciate everybody and hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.